I finally made it to the range, and now we got the bedding done. We've got, let's see, the barrel's free floated. So now it's just time to see what happens. And keep in mind too, now I'm trying some new loads here, so extra variables, but I'm going to be shooting a summer load for deer season. So I'm just going ahead and working it all out. Now, ideally, I'd have just done the bedding with a known load, went back and, okay, what's my results? And then I could say, hey, it made my groups 3/8 of an inch smaller. But, I got a lot to do, and that just starts getting time consuming, and not to mention that would be just for that load. I don't know how much the bedding would help the next load. But I did the bedding because I'm convinced that's going to help all the loads. The gun's just going to shoot better. So I might as well go ahead and work up the load now that the bedding's complete as far as I'm concerned. And as I mentioned previously, I did get to the range and did get to shoot 3 groups. So I'm on paper, and I know I'm pretty decent. And as I mentioned in that video, the bench was shaky. So I got out here and put some cross braces under here so the bench is a lot steadier. I didn't have the best chair then. I still don't have the greatest, but it's a lot better. My height's a lot better, so I made some adjustments. So all of that should help out as well. So a lot of variables. And it's a process. There is no one thing you do and you're shooting great. You do what you can do to control all the variables, and you keep working on it. And just, this is continuous improvement. You see what's going right, what isn't, make little adjustments, and hey, did that help any? And, but hopefully with today, the free floating's done and the bedding's done. So at least that part of the process is complete. Now I'm just seeing what it does, and I'm trying a new load. And truthfully, I hadn't planned on this being an Accurizing a rifle video or anything like that. That's basically what this is. It's getting this rifle ready for deer season. So I guess, basically it's just a series on getting a rifle ready for deer season. And the bedding's part of that for this particular rifle. And I've got another rifle I'm also shooting today that I'm working up a load for. That it's a different rifle with different issues. I'm also getting it ready for deer season. But again, a completely different rifle, different planned uses for it, different things going on with it. But the great thing about having 2 rifles is I let the barrels cool after 3 shots. And on that one, I might need to let it cool after every other shot because it's a featherweight barrel, real thin, which is, great in that it's lightweight and really handy rifle. But I'm seeing a little more movement, I think, with the heat. But I'll have to figure that one out as I go. But that's part of the fun too, though. It's figuring these things out and working to make them better. All right, we are ready to go here. Just a little bit of recoil. Your safety glasses are tough on a hot, humid day like this. Alright folks, I'm just going to have to do this without the safety glasses. I don't normally, but they're fogging up so bad I can't see my target. Alright, those last two shots were on it when I shot. And I've got 4 in this one. Since I had the gun out of the stock, out of the action out of the stock, I knew the first shot was just going to be getting the, everything settling back in, so I'm not worried about the first shot too much. But I had an extra, 4 round for this group, and hopefully, with the last 3, they're what I'm interested in. All right. And I'm going to set this one to the side and let it cool. All right, let's see what we got going on with this one. This is a 1982 Winchester featherweight, and it's in 257 Roberts. And I'll get into scopes and stuff later on, but this scope is not going to stay on this rifle. Eventually this scope will go on the other one, but and I'll get into that later on. Let's see what this one's going to do. Either that bullet missed or it's in the same hole. And I've got one here that I don't know what's going on with this bullet, but it keeps wanting to stick in the chamber. But then the next time I try to chamber it, it loads no problem. All right. I have no idea what's going on with that shell. All right, so I've got several groups down there, and I'm going to go down and take a look. All right, folks, that didn't look too bad. The 257 Roberts, I was tickled with that. Fortunately, I got a camera down there, so I can go back and review it, but I'm pretty sure that's 2 shots and touching. Best I've ever got that gun to do, and what made all the difference on that gun was just changing my shooting technique. I can get into fundamentals later if any of y'all are interested, but just better fundamentals. Okay, this one, it looks like I got vertical stringing on it, but I think it's more just the first shot's low, the second 2 I think are just settling in. That barrel's still pretty warm though. So I'm going to give this one just a little bit more time. And hey, that's part of it too. When you go to the range, there we go. When you go to the range, there's different things you're doing. When you're really on top of your game and you're shooting a lot, and you got your equipment together and you're on it. When you go to the range, then you're working on fundamentals, and that's where you want to be. I want to get to the point where I'm not out here shooting off bags. I want to be out here shooting standing, kneeling, prone, sitting, a variety of situations. Because that's how you shoot when you're hunting, and that's what I'm getting ready for. But right now, and yeah, I'm still working on fundamentals, but right now I'm working to get my equipment right. So I got the bags to make up for my poor fundamentals right now, or to help make up for it. I've got this bag to help make up for it. I'm trying different loads to get the most I can out of the loads. So, yeah, I'm not working on the things I hope to work on a little bit more later on. I'm just trying to get my equipment ready. Then come deer season, see, we're June now. I'm checking my loads now, making sure, my pressures look good on my cases, because I hand loaded these. It's a new load, and I feel sure they're safe. I mean, it's pretty generic load and a very generic rifle. I mean, I'm very confident and comfortable with this. But I'm checking it nonetheless, because, you don't take chances when it comes to reloading. Or at least I don't. Some do. Hey, each to their own. So my loads are looking pretty good. I got some tweaking to do, some things to work on, but it's looking pretty good. And that's what I'm doing, just get my equipment right, getting my bench right. And now that I've almost got this where I want it, I'll make a couple of more changes to my rifles. I'm going to swap scopes on a couple of them. That's pretty much it. From this, I'll determine what powder charge I want to shoot, or I might end up trying a new powder if I don't see what I'm hoping to see out of this load. I might go back to the drawing board. But right now, what I'm seeing is not terrible, and I can improve on it, just me shooting, better fundamentals. Which those last few shots were, things were starting to come together then. Anyway, that's part of the process. I'm getting back familiar with my equipment, getting settled in, getting everything right. All right, July, hopefully I'll be out here, and it's almost July. I'll figure out what load I'm going to use, get my guns, set up, the scopes, where, what scope on what gun, set, everything ready. Which that'll be one more trip to the range after this one. And then I might make 2 more trips out here after that, just shooting, just working on fundamentals, just, prone, standing, sitting, kneeling. That's it. Not working on equipment. I want my equipment right by that point. Just working on fundamentals, shooting, and from then on out, I'm scouting. I'm not even worried about shooting. I've done all that. I'm ready. I'm dialed in. So anyway, that's my plan, and hopefully I'm fixing to really get this one dialed in. I like what I'm seeing, and I'm shooting 40-35 on my powder, IMR. It's been around forever, one of the oldest powders there is. For some reason, I'm getting to the higher end of the pressure on these rounds now on my load testing. For some reason, for me, with IMR 40-35, I get my best groups out of my highest pressure loads. And it seems like it's across the board on all my rifles. I don't know why, but Anyway, I'll be honest, it's kind of nice to be able to chat about all this stuff while waiting on the barrel to cool off. Of course, I don't know how much it's going to cool in this heat. Sun beaming directly on it. I like for them to be in the shade, but this is what we got right now. So. All right, let me get me a few more groups in here. I'll change targets here, and I'm going to shoot for that bottom left. All right, that appeared to be pretty good. Getting a lot of mirage off the barrel. A lot of mirage. All right. I can't see it as clearly with this 3x9 as I will be able to with that 4x16, but what I'm seeing so far looks pretty good. All right, and this might be a little much for this one. I'm shooting 4-shot group. I've had so many flyers out of this gun that I'm certain it's me, but I still want to go with the 4-shot group just to try to pick up any kind of patterns. And I know my barrel's going to heat up real quick, and yeah, we'll just have to see what it does. Sometimes it's just a matter of just shooting and seeing what you figure out. Let's see. I'm going to make a change on this one and stay on that middle target. Folks, I think this gun is shooting now. It could just really, really, really like this load. But I've never had this gun shoot as consistent as what I'm starting to see from it. Now maybe now it's fixing to go all to pieces with the barrel getting warm, but let's find out. Yeah, we're starting to float around now. pretty decent. That's not bad, folks. See, with a hot barrel on this featherweight barrel, I am absolutely delighted with that. Yeah, looks like that one flyer in there, and I'm assuming it's a flyer. I am excited. I am excited. This is going to be a really great gun come deer season. All right, I'm going to let the barrels cool and walk down and check it, and I'll get back with y'all in the next shot group. All right, folks. I'm shooting my last group right now to 30-06, and I am ecstatic with that last group. And I got all the charges of each group written down, so I'll know exactly where to set my charge. But again, knowing this IMR 4035, this last group here is probably going to be my best group. And the barrel's pretty warm right now, which out in this sun, even my cleaning rod was warm where I had it sitting out. And I'll probably edit out the part where the reason I had it out, but it's because I had a cartridge stuck in my 257. And I don't know what's going on with that. It's a little out of round or something. I did something and bent the brass, but I don't see anything on it, but I'll check that out later. But I always carry a reloading rod with you to the range. You never know when it's going to come in handy. And that's why. So I'm gonna shoot this last 4-shot group here. Hopefully my camera downrange gets it. When I went down a second ago, it had cut off, so I don't even know how much of this it caught, if any of it. But anyway, hopefully this will be it, and this will conclude this part of the Accurizing anyway. This barrel's hot, and I'm still shooting good groups. That's why you free float them. And hey, everything's working great with it. So I am ecstatic with the bedding. I'm ecstatic with the free floating the barrel. My groups are coming in. My fundamentals are getting better. Yeah, this is really looking good right now. Let's see if we can make them touch here. Oh, this gun is really settling in. I pulled that one a hair. Interesting, I pulled it down. All right, let's put that last one in that first group. And end this on a positive note here. I kind of got off on that one, but that was all me. All right, folks. That's it for the 30-06 today. And something I didn't mention, next time I come out after I've got everything configured about like I want it, I'll bring my chronograph so I can get my velocities. But I know about what they're going to be. All right, I'm going to stay on that center target, left side. But I am going to adjust my height just so I can tell a difference in the groups. Right, I have no idea which one that was. Oh, I think I see it. Definitely low on that one. All right, not bad. I'm going to take a break and let this one cool off, and I got one more 4-round shot group to go through it. And we're going to call it a day. All right, folks, I got one more 4-shot group to make. And right now I am ecstatic. This group isn't going to be great. The barrel's hot. It's hot. I'm hot. And the barrel's really not going to cool today. Or at least I'm not going to know, the internal temperature or anything. It's just hot today. Matter of fact, this bench is getting pretty warm, just my arm sitting. But I'm going to go ahead and try to the best I can on this last 4-shot group. And right now everything's looking great on both rifles as far as deer season. Anybody shooting bench rest, you'd probably be disappointed with this, but I'm not. I am ecstatic. These are hunting rifles, and the ranges I have in mind, they are really, really looking good. And I'm going to go for that top right on the very right-hand side I'd been shooting 30-06 on, but I'm going to finish up 257 Roberts on that side. I didn't break my target stand. That's a good sign. So that shot was definitely to the right. It appears I got another one sticking here. Might just be the brass I'm using. Go find the cleaning rod again. And folks, this is why you bring a cleaning rod to the rifle range, especially when you're doing reloads. This is once fired brass. And that barrel is fine. Tell you what, folks, all the temperatures I got going right now, I think I'm going to call it quits while I'm ahead. I didn't get to fire this last group. But as hot as everything is, there's no point in continuing now. Just nice to work on a project, see it pay off. That last group on that 30-06, I pulled the last 2 shots, but I know I pulled. That gun right now is definitely, with that load, it's under 1 minute of angle. And hopefully I can prove that on paper next time I'm out here. But I'm confident in it, so I'm not worried about it either way. And hopefully I can get the last video on the Accurizing part up, because I mean, this could be the end, but it's not really, because I'm going to swap scopes and get them dialed in, and then they're complete. But as far as you learning anything new, I doubt you'll learn a thing out of the next video. It's going to be more of this, but with the gun set up as it's going to be come deer season. All right, folks. Hey, I hope you enjoyed it, and also I'm open for tips and suggestions. Maybe y'all spotted something I need to work on, and I got a lot of need to work on, and I know it. So I'm not going to be offended in the least if you point out something. Y'all have a good one.